Have you heard of something called Dogman?
Oh, yeah.
Have you had a recent episode about Dogman?
It's been a little while. Oh, did it come up, Dogman?
Out in the woods, shadows creep slow. Footprints deep where no man should go. Cold winds howl through hollers and brooks. Whispers of Bigfoot in the way it looks. Mist monsters and bullets in the night. Under a pale moon, strange glowing light. Truth out there like a blade it cuts. Mist monsters and bullets run amok.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Mist Monsters and Mullets. I am your host, John Methencamp. If you have a paranormal encounter you'd like to share, you can email me at mythsandmullets@gmail.com. And when I say paranormal, I mean anything. You've seen a ghost, maybe you saw Bigfoot, maybe you saw a UFO, maybe you were abducted by aliens. I want to hear about it. mythsandmullets@gmail.com. October 4th, Ada, Ohio, the Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree. It's coming up. I'll be there. Nevermore Hollows will be there. Chumming with the Spirits. Drunken Cryptids. So many of my guests. You're going to see them all there. It's October 4th, Ada, Ohio. The Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree, put on by Cryptids of the Corn. Another great podcast. Come out, meet me, get your picture taken. Maybe we can set up an interview. Make sure you're checking out the descriptions down below. You're going to see all my favorite podcasts. Nevermore Hollows, Drunken Cryptids, Chumming with the Spirits, Ghost Gossip. So many great podcasts. I love them. I think you will too. I listen to them every week. You should be binging these people. They're great shows. Check out the links in the description. I really do appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me over the last couple months. It has been amazing. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Comment on one of my videos. Tell me how I'm doing. Maybe give me some ideas. Maybe you want to be a guest on the show. You can do that as well. Also, hit that like button. Share it out with a friend. That's the only way we can grow. If you're interested in supporting the show, there's an easy way to do that. Over on Spotify, for $2.99 a month, it's only 10 cents a day, you're going to get members-only episodes, free episodes, meaning no intros, no music, just interviews, and no sponsor ads. So if you're interested in helping me support the show, head over to Spotify, click on one of the member episodes, and for $2.99 a month, you're going to get all this bonus footage. And with that, let's start the show. And we're back. I had to use the bathroom.
Me too.
That was, it happens. We've been talking for about 2 hours, but we've only recorded about an hour. So
yeah.
Bodily functions are natural, people.
Yes, especially when you're
robots.
Older.
Right.
Yes, you can't hold it as long as you used to. Like, you get older, you got to pee. Okay. It happens.
And I've been trying to be healthier over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I drink a lot more water. You'll see me.
Me
I do drink my Mountain Dew because that's my coffee, because I don't like coffee.
Coffee.
But I drink about a gallon of water a day,
Yeah.
So
I used to. I don't drink that much anymore, but I drink about 80 ounces.
Yeah.
I drink 2 of these a day.
Drink water, people. It's healthy. And if you're
Stay
looking to
hydrated,
lose
everybody.
weight, I found that the more water I drink, the more weight I lose. So
Yeah, because it keeps you fuller. Because you really, when you feel hungry, you're not hungry, you're thirsty.
Yeah, exactly. So before we went pee, we were talking about the dimes as being warning signs.
Yes, and I said, John, you want to see my dime jar?
Yeah.
I don't think we recorded that part, but I was like, look, you want to see the dimes? Like,
and that's all from just this year.
This past, from 2024 to 2025.
Just
Those
random
are the
dimes
that I found
I don't remember
randomly.
the last time I found a dime.
Exactly. You find pennies, maybe quarters, maybe a nickel. The amount of dimes that I found, like I said, I thought at first they were like messages like pennies from heaven, like messages from heaven. But because during the time that it was taking place, they started correlating with other events in our lives that weren't good. And so now when I find them, it's like something's coming. And now I don't find them like I used to. Like, it is definitely slowed down. If I find them in the house, I take it as I dropped that one because I have so many. Clearly, I have so many. Maybe it fell out of the closet or something. But I mean, I was finding them in such random places. Oh, the most crazy. Now, this one wasn't a warning sign. This one, I got a phone call and I was standing in the middle of a softball field. And I got a phone call that changed my life. It was actually a really good phone call. That's why I thought at first these were like messages from heaven, like good messages. This is the phone. It seriously changed my life. I look down while I'm on the phone and there is a dime at my toes in the middle of a softball field.
Well, there's kids playing softball. They're out there making change.
That's right. And so I think at that point, that's why I was like, this has got to be like messages from heaven, like good things. But the more they happened, it all happened kind of around bad things that were happening in our lives. And it was like, okay, are these messages from heaven? Or are these warning signals? Like, and that's kind of what they've become, because I don't find them anymore like I used to. When I do find them now, I'm like, okay, pay attention, eyes open, guard up.
Yeah.
And that's what they are. And I do find when I find pennies, which is so funny, I find them in twos.
Really?
And I was at Zaxby's last summer. We were going to the beach, and I look over, and I had just said something to Daniel about finding messages from heaven and pennies and stuff. And I look over, and there are 2 pennies sitting right next to me at Zaxby's in the window. And he's like, "You can't make this up." So I don't have a penny jar, but I do have a dime jar.
Right. So in the house that you live in now, what kind of things are you experiencing now?
The Alexas will come on and off, which, I know there's probably some explanations. Hey, babe. What? Oh, thank you. That looks great. You don't put it in there right now, okay? No. Sorry.
That's all right.
It's beautiful. You want to say hi to John? He does not have his mullet on.
You are out of uniform, sir.
You're out of uniform, sir.
Oh, yes. I do not have a tank top on.
Or a mullet. He did put the mullet on today. I told him you put it on this morning. It looks great, honey. It looks beautiful.
Are you on my show showing your wood? Come on, man.
Let's get flagged. Gonna get flagged. Thanks, babe. I love that. Yes, honey. Love you. But one of the first things that happened was everybody was at school. He was at work because I'm a stay-at-home mom now. And I was sitting in the living room, and every morning I wake up, make my cup of coffee, and I sit in the recliner and I drink my coffee, and I just kind of decompress before I start cleaning or before I record or edit or whatever. So I was sitting there and I hear something, and I'm like, and it's really faint, but it keeps getting louder and louder and louder. And I realized that's music. And so the kids have been gone for hours. I had been in the house for hours alone, and there was no music. So I look at our son's Alexa, and it's playing a random song loud. And somebody asked me once, well, can't they control that from their phones? I'm like, no, because they don't have access to my Alexa account. I'm the only one with my password and my email. They don't even know my email address. And so they don't control their Alexas remotely. I'm the only one that can do that. And I looked, and there was no record of anybody commanding it to come on.
Really?
Yep. That was so crazy, because it was like maybe he turned it on and forgot to turn it off before he left, but he hadn't turned on music that day.
Wow.
Yep. Other things we've had, there's footsteps. We hear footsteps every once in a while. There was a big storm. I was home alone. The kids were at the restaurant with Daniel. I had come home to take care of my dogs because my dog has extreme storm anxiety, and she'll tear up the house. And I'm always worried she's going to have a heart attack. So I had come home to sit with her. And so I'm sitting by myself in the bedroom, comforting her, have both of my dogs at the time. and I hear footsteps walking in the attic as clear as day. And I was like,
where you're at right now?
No, not that's no. Attic. Oh, so this is the attic on the bonus room. We have two
Gotcha.
attic spaces on either side of the bonus room with full doors. The
Mhm.
attic where the footsteps were is over the main part of the living house.
Gotcha.
Mhm. I saw not too long ago, and this was in my mentorship, so I'm, opening myself up more. I saw a person-sized shadow kind of move in my room during the day. It was like 3:00 in the afternoon, and I kind of look over and I'm like, I have to say, my bedroom is my private space. Y'all out, like don't come in my bedroom. And then recently there's been knocks, like on command knocks, like, and I can't figure out like, okay, like, and I'm also, I like to debunk. I'm like, okay, is there a way that it could be rodents? So my husband's going to actually get in the attic and look around and make sure. But it was so often that even our son came in and he's like, I hear knocking on my walls. And I'm like, and it sounds like a knuckle. Like it's not like clicks or like a house adjusting. It sounds like fingertips or knuckles hitting the wall.
Wow.
So it is, but we have lost somebody recently, and that's when the knocks started. So it's like, okay, is she trying to get our attention? We had a weird thing the other night where my son I could feel her playing with my hair. I was writing an episode and it felt like there were fingers in my hair. And she used to always play with my girl's hair. And then she would bop my son on the back of the head, like boop. And he was sitting there and he grabbed the back of his head and he goes, somebody just hit me in the back of the head. So we think some of the stuff that's going on right now is her just kind of hanging around.
So other than the youngest, being scared of the Wayne, have your kids like embraced this?
Yeah, they have now. Yeah.
Okay.
They know that. So my psychic abilities scare them more than anything because I freak them out.
Because they're afraid they're going to know what they're doing.
I do know. I'll be in the other room and say something like, stop doing that. And you'll hear my one whisper to the other, how does she know? And, part of that's the mom tuition,
Right.
But like my daughter, who is a huge skeptic, she is a huge skeptic and she believes in spirits and such, but she doesn't want to believe in me, I guess is a better way to put that. She was in her room the other day and I need to talk to her. And I said, Daisy, will you come in here? And I was in my bathroom and she was like, okay. And I just, green. And she's like, what about green? I said, whatever you were staring at was green. And she turned the corner and her eyes were just huge. And she's like, and she ran back out and she brought in a necklace that she was trying to untangle and it was green.
I don't want to hear if you get any visions about me.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, it would freak me out.
Okay. Yeah, it freaks them out.
One, I don't want you spying on me, Ashley. I know the mullet is hard to forget.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best, John. I'm fighting the urge. No, but the thing is, it's like, I'm more in tune with my family. Like, I'm more in tune with them, I think, because I'm so close to them. And I'm very in tune with the situation that we're dealing with. I usually know what's coming before it happens. So when it does happen, like there was something that was going on, and I told my husband a week or two before it happened, hey, this is going to happen. And I've been trying to say it out loud so that way I don't want to come back after the fact like, oh, I knew that was going to happen because I didn't say it out loud and be like, oh, sure you did. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Sure, Jan. So
It's
I've been
easy
trying
to be
to say
psychic
it.
if you just say, oh, I already knew that.
I already knew that, yeah. So I've been trying to say it and write it down before. Like once I have it in my head, I'm like, ooh, I'll type it. And if it never happens, it's fine. It's fine. But if it does happen, it's like, aha. So I had told him like, hey, this is happening. This is going to happen. I don't know when, but it's happening. And sure enough, we got the phone call a couple of weeks after, and he was livid because of the situation.
Right.
And I went, I told you it was about to happen. And he goes, I know, but that still doesn't make it less upsetting. It actually happened. And so I think the part of this house is a lot of just me opening up. And, then you have people who are like, oh, watch out what you're letting in, blah, blah, blah. I protect myself. I protect my space. I'm careful. And I don't try to attract anything bad, and bad things do come sometimes. When you are a beacon of light and they're drawn to it, sometimes bad things do come up, but you just have to know, like, get away, go away. And I don't entertain that, constantly. Love and light is only welcome here. If you're any negativity, you have to move on. Cleansing the house, cleansing my space, and praying. Most people don't realize this. I pray. I believe in my God. I believe I can be spiritual and believe in my God at the same time. Like, I don't think there's rules about that. And so I'm protected, and my children, my family are protected. And what happens in this house really is, I think, my fault. because I am open to it, and spirits know that.
Right.
I sound crazy.
No, you don't. We talked earlier about the app. What's it called? The
Necrometer.
Necrometer. I wanted to say necromancer, and I'm like, I know that's not right.
Necromancer.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do you use other devices or gadgets?
Yeah. So I'm going to turn it on, because sometimes I'll have it on during my recordings just to see what it says. It'll say crazy things. But I have my REM pod, and my REM pod is a EMF detector. I'm sure you've seen them in like ghost shows and stuff. They're a little box with the antenna and the lights. Mm-hmm. And that's gone off before in the house. I have that. I'm not a ghost hunter, but I do like having that sometimes, because if I'm feeling a certain kind of way in my house, I'll put it out. Just kind of like confirmation that something's there. I have my EMF detector, but that is very unreliable, because that can pick up electronics, phones, anything like that. And then I have my dowsing rods, and I'm very careful with those because they are easily manipulated, and I never want to be accused of manipulating dowsing rods. I am very honest, and my integrity is high. And when it comes to dowsing rods, it's really about trusting the person that has them. Mm-hmm. And so if I never want anybody to even think that I'm manipulating them. And so I use them really for myself. Like, really, I have used them in other places because I've been asked to. I'd done it on one investigation, and it was wild, the answers we got. And I've done it at my sister's house, and that was crazy. My nephews were like, so, and then I have my tarot cards, and I use those as, I've done readings for people, but those are more for confirmation for things that I think are coming.
So how much investigating do you do?
Outside of my house, and my house is hardly any, unless somebody's like, hey, you want to come with me? And I can go. I did investigate my friend Ben's. He does the tours up at the whiskey prison. And have you heard of something called Dogman?
Oh, yeah.
Have you had a recent episode about Dogman?
It's been a little while. Oh, did it come up, Dogman?
Yeah. That's the first thing that came up, Dogman. But I went, and he does investigations at the prison. And so I went and did that. And he told me, he's like, I have never had it as active as when you were here.
I'm looking something up real quick.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at my calendar. Because
could have sworn I saw something about Dogman not too long ago.
No. I had Don from Don't Whistle at Night podcast on, and we talked about skinwalkers.
Uh-huh.
And the one skinwalker does take the form of a half coyote,
dog,
half person. Man. So maybe that could be it. I don't know. It's been a while since I've had a really good dog man encounter on my show.
It's never said that before. So that's why I was like, it's never said that before.
I hope it doesn't mean I want to see one, because that's one of those things, like, I want to see one, but I don't want to see one. Like I
Yeah,
want
I
to
get
see
that.
one from a distance with a high powered rifle next to me and from my vehicle with it running and
Can drive.
yeah, I can, I just got my foot on the brake because if this thing starts coming at me, I want a clear path away.
Right. That's funny. Yeah, same. I don't know if I'd ever want to see one, period. But yeah, yeah. Just it's never said Dogman before, so that was just funny because you deal with cryptids. So
Right, right. That is weird. Wow.
you know what's really funny is I sent you that screenshot and it said cryptozoologist, and I've never heard of that before. And then you mentioned that on a live, and then I got it on my necrometer, and then in Justin's book, he has it everywhere in that book, and I'm like, I have never seen this word before.
Wow.
So yeah, and I have a couple different apps that I use, but Necrometer as a whole is my favorite, like spirit talker type app. I also have a spirit box where I hear static. So when I went to my sister's house to do some stuff, she had a knife fall on the counter and it's like wiggle. And there's a video of it. She is nowhere near it. And she stops. And me and my sister were so desensitized to this because of our abilities. And she just stopped and she's chewing on something and she's just doesn't freak out. She sent it to me. And so I went over there with my spirit box and my rods, and I was doing the Estes method. And one of them asked, has anybody died in this house? And I answered, I heard the spirit box or the spirit through the spirit, I don't even what, the static,
Yeah.
the cat. When my sister first moved into her house, her cat died in the house. And
So the cat was playing with a knife.
I think the cat jumped on the counter. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I've never given much credence to the apps that you can download on your phone because there's so many ways that they can be
Interference.
pre-programmed with and stuff like that. And I don't know.
I get it.
But we did have an app when we did our investigation of the Randolph County Infirmary.
Yeah.
And it said some things that it shouldn't have said. Like it wasn't the stuff that we were talking about, but made sense. So
like the smell, like I like that scent.
Right. It's not going to know that you're lighting a candle.
No, or smelling something or standing looking out in the backyard. So my husband and I did an episode about the neighborhood that we almost bought a house in, that we made an offer in. And this was one of those instances when I walked in the house, I knew somebody had died and I knew what they had died from. And I shouldn't have known either one of those. And during that episode, our final farewell episode, I was talking to him about that neighborhood. We haven't talked about the name of the neighborhood. As we were recording, it said the first word of the neighborhood.
Really?
While we were talking about that house that we almost bought where I picked up on the man who had died and what he had died from.
Wow.
So like when stuff like that happens, it's like, I get that these are for entertainment purposes only, so is my podcast. My podcast is for entertainment purposes. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Podcasts are for entertainment. And I teach history, but I'm not a professional. I never claimed to be. So those are too for entertainment purposes. But some of the things it says is so spot on, and there's no reason whatsoever that it should be saying it, especially right then. I had some noises going on in the bonus room the other day, and I told you my grandma stays with me. My grandparents stay with me all the time. And I heard something, and I said, "Who is that?" And it said, "Betty." And that's my grandmother's name.
Really?
And I was like, I was like, okay.
So I just wrote down 2 words. Before we stop recording.
Okay.
If either one of these 2 words comes up on your thing, we'll compare our notes. How many words does it show? Like how many does it go back?
I can do the transcript.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can look back and look at it.
because if either, and I've got it written down here, I'm not going to touch my pen after this, so people don't accuse me of anything.
Okay.
But,
We're just going to do a test.
but let's just say that these two words have to do with my ex-wife. Okay.
Oh boy.
This is somebody that I've never talked about on my podcast.
It just said conjured.
I'm conjuring her spirit right now.
You talk about your ex-wife and it said conjured.
So if either two of these words come up,
Okay.
then we'll know that she's a demon. No.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I'm just,
okay,
we're
spirit.
just doing an experiment. We're just doing an experiment to see if the spirits can figure out what I wrote on this piece of paper. So,
All right, spirits. If you know what John wrote down, you see this box right here. Use the words, put it in there. And if not, it's all right too. But so just so you know, I have it in airplane mode. So there should be no interference from outside EMF or anything like that.
right.
So just I like when, just so anybody is listening that they don't know, when you use anything on your phone, you turn the airplane mode on and anything in this vicinity to keep it from interfering with the words that are coming through. The way they should work is they are running through radio stations, and the theory is it's transcribing the words that it is hearing through the radio station.
Gotcha.
That is how they're supposed to work.
Right.
Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, because I'm not an app developer. I really want to meet these people, like talk to these people, because I would love to interview them about the necrometer because of the evidence I have gotten on it.
Well, we need to track them down so you can do that.
I know. Come on, people.
Let's do it.
Yep.
But
is there any other questions you have for me?
I do.
Okay.
You went to the Crescent, correct?
I did.
Let's talk about the Crescent.
Oh, it was incredible. I feel called to the Crescent. So the Crescent Hotel, if you don't know about it, is one of the most haunted hotels in America. It has a tragic story. At first it was a retreat for the very wealthy. The first reported death at the Crescent was that of Michael, who was a stonemason, who was catcalling a young lady. And he was up kind of high up, and he saw this pretty lady walking by, and he's like, hey, like, woohoo. He lost his balance and he fell and he died in room 218. So that was one of the first reported deaths there. The next one was, I can't remember the name. It was a young little boy, about 3 or 4 years old. He got sick. And what's crazy is his mother is the reason for labor and delivery standards to this day. So, gosh, his name's on the tip of my tongue. Hopefully it will hit me. But people report seeing him. And then after it was a resort, it started struggling financially, and it was sold as a women's college. Well, then one of the reported deaths at the women's college is that there was a woman that was seen on the 4th floor, and that she fell or was pushed or jumped to her death right around where the jacuzzi is. And then after the women's college, it became Baker's Hospital, which Norman Baker was a charlatan who was not a doctor, but he claimed that he could cure cancer at 100% success. And people from all over came to the Crescent or Baker's Hospital for cancer treatment. And he would inject them with formula number 5 multiple times a day. And when they were getting close to death, he would send them home. And they would usually die on their way. Or
that way he didn't show up as a casualty at the hospital.
That's right. And if they were struggling at the hospital, he would put them on the 3rd floor. And the 3rd floor, he had a huge door, and it was locked away, and the other patients couldn't get there. And he called it the psychiatric wing. And he said when other patients would hear these patients screaming, he would say, oh, they've lost their mind. They've just lost their mind. It's part of their illness. But what it was is they were in so much pain that they were screaming out in agony. When they would finally die, he would have one of his nurses move the bodies from the 3rd floor to the morgue that was in the basement. But they would move it at 3:30 in the morning. So that way the patients wouldn't see the dead bodies.
Right. And that was a common
then,
thing with a lot of like the tuberculosis hospitals and stuff like that,
yeah.
where they would move them in
Oh,
the middle
yeah.
of the night using tunnels and things like that.
Yes. Like at Waverly Hills, they had like
Yeah.
that secret tunnel they would move the bodies in. And so when we went, I love this place. I love this place so much. And I love Arkansas, period. But I went, and when I walked in, I was just like, wow, like I feel like I'm at home here. I just love that place. The first night we had gone up to, there's a restaurant on the 4th floor, and we talked to Travis, who was the restaurant manager, wonderful guy. And so he's so funny. We asked him, do you have any experiences here? He's like, no, I'm not dumb enough to stay here. And I was like, oh God. So we were talking, and he had told us, because the hotel is a functioning hotel, they have to stop working by a certain time, and they can no longer work if they don't finish. They have to come in the morning and finish.
Really?
At 3:30 in the morning, our room was 316. Our room was directly under the restaurant, which was carpeted. Everything was carpeted. At 3:30 in the morning, my husband and we are woken up by scratching going across the entire ceiling. It moved over our heads and like down. He heard it. I heard it. I said, they're scratching. They're scratching. Daniel, it's scratching on the ceiling. Initially in our sleep, we were like, maybe they're cleaning up. Maybe they're moving chairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the next morning when we were talking about it, I grabbed his arm and I was like, it's carpet. And he's like, it is carpet. And Travis had said they shut the restaurant down. I think it was like 11 or something, because it's a functioning hotel and they cannot keep the visitors awake.
Wow.
So during our tour, another thing before, because ADHD, I'm going to jump around. But when I walked out on our balcony, it was right under the area where the co-ed fell to her death. I wasn't like near the railing, but I got really dizzy and lightheaded, and I had to like walk back in. And then during the tour, when I went to the 4th floor, I instantly got a headache, and I had to leave to take something for my head because my head was hurting so bad. The night after the tour, I was changing, and I felt something caress the backside of my arm right here. And it was so real. I thought Daniel was being frisky behind me. And I turn around, and he is in bed.
So you got a pervert ghost with you.
It's Michael. Michael's the one that fell to his death. He loves the ladies.
Casanova.
And he has said that he flirts with women and messes with the men, that he is known to touch female visitors. And I had really long hair at the time, and my hair was up on top of my head on a bun. So I even looked for like a strand of hair, because maybe that was hair,
Mm-hmm.
It felt like fingertips caressing the backside of my arm, but it was, I would have told you it was Daniel, but it was not him. He was in bed.
Wow.
I love that place. It was awesome.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories from Matthew from Drunken Cryptids. He went there and had some weird stuff go on. So
Yeah.
where's one place that you really would like to investigate?
Oh, Missouri State Penitentiary.
I had a guest from there that she was she worked there, like as a ticket taker or whatever. And she had a lot of experiences from there.
Yeah. We're recording an episode about it tomorrow.
Oh,
and
nice.
Yep, I just finished writing the episode yesterday, and it is the brutality of it when it was a functioning prison is just, I have no words. Like it blows me away that I don't care what anybody had done. Like the stuff that some of these men endured was inhumane.
Right.
And there is just so much about it, but I would love to be able to go and investigate. My investigating techniques are a little bit different because I'm sensitive. I like to go and I like to feel what I feel and hear what I hear. And yeah, I have my stuff that use like as confirmation, but I like to see if I can sense things and see things in my mind's eye and feel them without all the gadgets.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So before we stop,
Okay.
before we wrap this up, let's compare notes.
Okay.
I'm going to hold up my piece of paper.
I think you need to wait until we're done with your interview.
Okay, we can do that.
Let's
That'll
do
be
that.
a good tie-in. That'll be a good tie-in.
Yes, because I've gotten some stuff. The only thing that really truly makes sense is skepticism. When we were talking about the app, it said skepticism. So it made me giggle because you're skeptic when it comes to these apps. But
yeah.
But yeah, let's do that.
I will tell you that the two words that I wrote, reading them on their own, have nothing to do with the paranormal.
Okay.
Actually, they have nothing to do with paranormal.
Okay.
So, okay.
Well, yep. Let's just do that because we're gonna do your interview for my podcast.
Right.
So that will give us a little bit more time because I just turned this on 10 minutes ago.
That's true.
So it gives it a little bit more time to test your theory, test the experiment. We are scientists, John.
That's right. It's science.
It's science. We're doing it for science.
That is a tie-in to my interview with Mel Heflin. For those that follow the show, it's a different kind of science that we're talking about right now. So, if you haven't watched that episode, Mel had a brief. She did a pilot for a show called Naked Paranormal. It was a different kind of science. Okay.
All right.
But anyway.
Oh, goodness.
So, Ashley, these last
your
couple
wife
months
is the most patient woman I've ever met in my life.
She is a saint. She absolutely is a saint.
She is.
But I will say this, going from just this chance meeting on TikTok to where we are now,
random guy with a mullet,
right? 3 months later, I am glad to call you my friend.
Likewise.
And I really do enjoy your show. So why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
I am on Ghost Gossip. You can find me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. I'm also on some random platforms. I'm everywhere. If you just Google me, you'll find me. You can also come interact with me on Instagram and TikTok. Ghost Gossip Podcast on Instagram, Ghost Gossip Pod on TikTok. And I am working on a website, but I own the domains, but there's nothing there. But the best place to get me is on Instagram or TikTok, or you can send me an email at ghostgossip247@gmail.com.
Awesome. And I will put the links to all that in the description. Ashley, thank you again for coming on today. We're going to have to do it again because we've actually been talking for almost 3 hours, and I still feel like there was so much more I could have asked you. So,
and I'm sorry for getting off track. There's just so much. My mind just goes blah. I just want to tell you everything at once.
Well, you're just going to have to come back on and we'll do it again.
Anytime. You're very popular though. Getting in with you is it's harder getting scheduled with you than it is my doctor, who only sees people on every other day.
Yeah. Well, it's the mullet.
It's good to be popular, right?
Sometimes.
It's true. Very true. Right.
Well, if you've had a paranormal encounter you'd like to share, you can email me at mythsandmullets@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, leave a comment on one of my YouTube videos. And by the time this airs, you can also become a subscriber on Spotify and get early access to all the episodes before everybody else.
Ooh.
So until next time, I'll talk to you later. Gotta go.
Shadow in the pines lurking in the dusky air. Bigfoot stomps through the woods like he don't care. Lights in the sky flash green then blue. Aliens descending with a secret or two. Whispers in the breeze, cold fingers down your spine.